You ever walk into a room and feel like the atmosphere shifts before you even say a word? That's not coincidence, that's energy. That's your aura announcing your presence before your mouth ever opens. Your aura speaks for you. It tells the world what you believe about yourself, what you expect, what you've healed from, and what you're still holding on to. See, too many of us are asking God to send us opportunities that our energy keeps rejecting. We're praying for doors to open while our aura says, I don't feel ready yet. We're declaring abundance while our energy still whispers lack, and the truth is, you can't fake energy. You can fake confidence, you can fake a smile, but your aura will always tell on you. When your energy is heavy with fear, when your heart is cluttered with comparison, when your mind is full of doubt, it shows. People feel it, opportunities feel it, even blessings feel it, because wealth, real wealth, not just numbers in a bank account, is spiritual before it's physical. It's not just about what you have, it's about what you carry. And when what you carry doesn't match what you're asking for, that's when frustration sets in. You start saying, why isn't it happening for me? But maybe it's not that God said no. Maybe he's just waiting for your energy to line up with what he's already spoken. Your aura is a mirror. It reflects what's happening inside of you. That's why people who are deeply at peace seem to glow without trying. That's why some folks walk into a space and shift the whole atmosphere, not because they're loud, but because they're aligned. They've trained their aura to speak faith even when life gets hard. They've learned how to show up in rooms with the quiet confidence that says, I belong here because God sent me here. Now, if we're being real, some of us have trained our aura in the wrong direction. Life has been tough. Betrayal, disappointment, loss, those moments left imprints. And without realizing it, we start carrying energy that keeps us stuck in survival mode. We wake up guarded, we go to bed anxious, and in between we're just trying to make it through. But here's the thing, your aura was never meant to survive, it was meant to shine. And that means you've got to retrain it. You've got to reteach your spirit how to speak faith again. You can't keep replaying the language of lack and expect abundance to answer. You can't wake up every day saying, I'm tired, and then wonder why your energy feels drained. You can't walk into rooms thinking I'm not enough and then expect opportunity to recognize you. Energy recognizes energy. The vibration you release is the invitation you send to the universe, to people, and even to God. If your vibration says fear, you'll attract experiences that validate fear. But if your energy says faith, the world will have no choice but to respond in alignment. So ask yourself, what is my aura saying right now? What story is my energy telling when I walk in a room? Because if your energy doesn't believe what your mouth is saying, then your manifestation gets confused. You're praying for overflow, but your aura is preparing for rejection. You're asking for expansion, but your energy is still shrinking to fit other people's comfort zones. You've got to make sure what you're praying for and what you're preparing for speak the same language. This is not about pretending. This is not about putting on a smile when you feel broken. This is about deciding to shift your frequency intentionally, spiritually, and daily. Every morning when you wake up, before you scroll, before you check your phone, before you check the world, check your energy. Ask yourself, what am I carrying into today? Because whatever you carry is what you'll attract. If you carry gratitude, you'll see grace. If you carry fear, you'll see obstacles. If you carry faith, you'll see opportunity. Your aura is the echo of your belief. You can't say you trust God and still radiate anxiety every time something doesn't go your way. You can't declare abundance while secretly resenting people who have what you prayed for. You've got to get your energy clean, your heart right, your spirit centered, because when your aura is pure, you won't have to chase, you'll attract. You won't have to convince, you'll carry it. You won't have to compete, you'll simply radiate in your lane. And some of you have been dimming your light to make other people comfortable. You've been shrinking your energy so you don't seem too much. But listen, you weren't created to fit in with small expectations. You were created to shift atmospheres. You were created to carry the evidence of what God can do with someone who chooses alignment over approval. You don't have to apologize for your light when God Himself called you to shine. Training your aura is not a one-time thing, it's a lifestyle. It means learning to regulate your inner world no matter what's happening around you. It means refusing to let circumstances dictate your energy. It means saying, I will not let temporary situations contaminate my eternal assignment. When the job doesn't come through, your aura still speaks peace. When the relationship doesn't work out, your energy still whispers trust. When the bills are due, your aura still declares abundance. Because wealth is not just something you're waiting to receive, it's something you've already started to embody. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds good, but how do I get there? You get there through awareness, through prayer, through consistency. You get there by refusing to let fear live rent free in your spirit. You get there by replacing every I can't with I will. Every it's too late with God's timing is still perfect. Every I'm not enough with I am equipped. Every thought you think is energy. Every word you speak is frequency. Every belief you hold is vibration. So start speaking the language of abundance until your aura believes it. Start showing up with the posture of wealth before the money even comes. Start walking like favor already found you. Because when your energy aligns with divine expectation, the physical manifestation has no choice but to catch up. You are not waiting for wealth to show up. Wealth is waiting for you to rise to its frequency, and that begins with your aura. Your energy is your announcement, so let it speak faith, let it speak gratitude, let it speak power. Let it speak alignment, because before the world ever hears your words, it already feels your presence. And when your presence carries the vibration of purpose, nothing can resist the pull of your light. You ever notice how sometimes, no matter how much you pray, fast, or hustle, it feels like there's still something blocking the flow, like you're doing everything right, but abundance keeps skipping over your name. I had to learn that sometimes it's not that God is withholding, it's that our energy is still holding on to pain, disappointment, guilt, and stories we told ourselves to survive. But what helped you survive might now be what's stopping you from thriving. You can't attract overflow if your aura is still dripping with the residue of old wounds. You can speak prosperity all day long, but if your heart still identifies with lack, the energy doesn't match the words. Some of us learned struggle so early that peace feels uncomfortable. We became so familiar with waiting for the other shoe to drop that we can't rest when blessings show up. We pray for more, but deep down we're terrified of it, terrified of losing it, of not being enough for it, of not being worthy of it. That's why before God releases abundance, He first invites you to heal. Because if you don't heal what hurt you, what was meant to bless you will break you. Healing isn't weakness, it's wealth work. It's the process of making your spirit strong enough to hold the overflow you've been praying for. Healing teaches you how to let go of bitterness so that peace has room to grow. Healing teaches you how to stop replaying that heartbreak so your heart can receive new love. Healing teaches you how to stop identifying as the victim so you can start walking as the vessel. Every level of abundance requires a version of you that's more whole than the last. Sometimes, God won't let you skip the healing because He knows that unhealed energy mishandles blessings. You'll get the thing you prayed for and sabotage it because the wound inside of you still whispers, you don't deserve this. So He slows the process down not to punish you, but to prepare you. He starts peeling back the layers of pain, insecurity, and self-doubt you've been hiding behind, and it feels uncomfortable. But healing always feels like breaking before it feels like becoming. When you start doing the inner work, you realize how much heaviness you've been carrying. The grudges, the jealousy, the resentment, all of it has weight, and that weight affects your aura. It clouds your glow, it dulls your frequency. That's why you can be talented, gifted, and even anointed, but still feel unseen. Because your aura is still tangled in emotional residue from people who hurt you. But what if I told you that the moment you choose to forgive, the light in your aura brightens? The moment you stop rehearsing pain and start releasing it, your energy starts to breathe again. Forgiveness doesn't make what happened right, it makes you free. It cuts the energetic cord between your destiny and your disappointment. It says you don't get to live rent-free in my energy anymore. You can't hold on to both pain and peace. One will always push the other out. So maybe wealth isn't waiting for another strategy. Maybe it's waiting for you to release the emotional clutter so your spirit has space to receive. We like to talk about manifestation, but true manifestation flows through a healed heart. Because when your energy is healed, you don't attract out of desperation, you attract out of identity. You no longer chase validation, you radiate worth. You no longer beg for opportunities, you become one. You no longer fear loss, you trust that anything leaving your life was never assigned to your next level anyway. Healing doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you magnetize, and let me tell you, healing is messy. It's not all soft music and sage. Sometimes it's crying until your chest hurts. Sometimes it's apologizing when your pride doesn't want to. Sometimes it's admitting, I'm still angry, even when you thought you were over it, but that's okay. Healing is not linear, it's layered. Every time you face a wound instead of running from it, your aura becomes lighter. Every time you choose peace instead of revenge, your spirit expands. Every time you tell yourself, I'm still worthy even though I'm still healing, your vibration rises. You can't fake healed energy. You can post it, you can quote it, but the truth of your healing will show up in your aura. That's why some people walk into a room and everyone feels calm. They've done their inner work, they carry peace in their presence. That's the wealth I'm talking about, because real wealth isn't just money, it's the ability to wake up without emotional debt. It's being able to love again without fear. It's having peace that can't be bought, confidence that can't be shaken, and faith that can't be stolen. And when you start healing, you also have to get comfortable being misunderstood, because healed energy triggers unhealed people. When you stop reacting, when you stop chasing, when you start setting boundaries, some people won't like it. But don't let that make you shrink. Your healing will cost you relationships that depended on your brokenness. But what you gain in peace will outweigh everything you lose in approval. Some of you have been praying for a miracle, but what God is offering first is maintenance. He's saying, let me fix what broke you. Because if your heart is still leaking from old wounds, even blessings will slip through the cracks. So let him heal you, let him restore your sense of worth, let him detox your aura from the energy of fear and scarcity. Because when your energy is clean, money flows easier, love flows easier, purpose flows easier. You don't have to chase, you'll simply align. I know healing takes courage. It means looking at the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It means forgiving the version of you that settled, that stayed too long, that believed less than she deserved. But that's where transformation happens. Healing says, I can't change what happened, but I can change how it lives inside of me. You start realizing that every heartbreak, every betrayal, every delay, it didn't come to destroy you. It came to teach you how to protect your peace. And that's what this journey is really about, protecting the frequency of your aura, because you can't carry wealth in a weary spirit. You can't carry abundance in a bitter heart. You can't carry overflow while still entertaining what empties you. Healing sets the tone for your energy to match your destiny. So today I want you to stop asking, when will it happen for me? And start asking, what still needs healing in me? Because sometimes your next blessing is waiting on your next level of release. And when you finally let go of what hurt you, your aura becomes the evidence that nothing missing, nothing broken, only wholeness remains. ChatGPT said, you ever realize how powerful your thoughts really are? I'm not talking about casual thoughts. I'm talking about the inner conversations you have with yourself when nobody's watching. The ones that decide how you see the world, how you see God, and how you see yourself. Those quiet thoughts create the loudest energy. And if you don't train your mind to think in alignment with abundance, your aura will always speak the language of limitation. Because your aura doesn't just come from what you say, it comes from what you believe, deeply, consistently, even when life contradicts it. We talk about wanting overflow, But you can't live in overflow if your mindset still lives in survival. You can't build wealth with a wounded mentality if your thoughts are constantly rehearsing lack. That's the frequency you start vibrating on. And energy doesn't lie, it attracts what it is. That's why transformation always starts with a renewed mind. It's not about how much money you make, how many doors open, or how many opportunities come your way. If your mind hasn't shifted, even a miracle will feel like a burden. Training your mind to match the frequency of abundance means learning how to discipline your thoughts until faith becomes your default setting. It means when fear starts whispering you're not ready, your spirit answers back, I was built for this. It means when doubt says you failed before, your faith declares that failure was my foundation. It's about changing the conversation inside of you. Because the truth is, the most important voice in your life isn't the one that speaks to you. It's the one that speaks within you. When your inner dialogue is full of worry, you train your aura to attract confusion. But when your inner dialogue is filled with trust, your aura becomes magnetic to peace and prosperity. That's why scripture says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your life can never consistently rise above your level of thought. If you keep thinking small, you'll keep manifesting small. But when you start expanding your imagination, your energy shifts and your world starts to shift with it. Some of us are waiting for God to change our circumstances, but He's waiting for us to change our mindset. Because He can't give you abundance while you still think like lack. He can't give you influence while you still see yourself as unworthy. He can't give you opportunity while you're still operating from insecurity. You've got to train your mind to receive what you've been praying for. You've got to practice abundance in your thoughts before it ever shows up in your bank account. Training your mind isn't about pretending. It's about preparing. You don't wait for the blessing to act blessed. You start walking like it's already yours. You start thinking like someone who's already there. You prepare your habits, your discipline, your energy, your mindset, because faith is not just belief, it's preparation. You can't keep saying, I believe God will do it, while living like you don't expect Him to. Think about how many times you've talked yourself out of blessings that were already forming. God sent an idea, but fear said, I'm not qualified. God opened a door, but insecurity said, what if I fail? God connected you with someone, but unhealed self. Doubt said, they're out of my league. That's not the enemy blocking you. That's the old programming you never updated. You've got to retrain your mind until fear no longer sounds familiar. Every thought carries energy. Every idea carries frequency. So when you think thoughts of faith, gratitude, purpose, and expectation, your aura becomes a broadcast of abundance. You start walking differently. You start talking differently. People can't quite explain it, but they feel it. Something about your energy says, I'm already in alignment. That's what happens when your thoughts and your spirit agree. And let me be real, training your mind isn't easy. It's a daily practice. It means catching yourself mid-thought and saying, no, I'm not going back there. It means choosing to believe again after you've been disappointed. It means reprogramming the language you use about yourself, because your mind listens to everything you say. When you call yourself broke, your energy adjusts. When you call yourself unlucky, your vibration lowers. But when you start saying, I'm favored, I'm prepared, I'm chosen, your aura lights up with divine authority. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not that your situation changes, but that your mindset does. When your thoughts elevate, everything attached to you rises too. Suddenly, you start seeing opportunities in places you used to see obstacles. You start feeling peace in moments that used to make you panic. That's how you know your mind is training itself to operate in abundance. It stops reacting and starts creating. You can't attract abundance while meditating on loss. You can't magnetize opportunity while focusing on rejection. You've got to rewire how you interpret life. When something doesn't work out, stop saying it's over. Start saying it's redirecting me. When money gets tight, stop saying I'm broke. Start saying I'm being stretched for increase. When doors close, stop saying, "Nobody sees me." Start saying, "God's reserving me for the right room." That's what it means to train your mind. You stop letting circumstances teach you how to think and start letting your faith lead the narrative. Because wealth is not just about money. It's about thought wealth, peace of mind, vision, creativity, wisdom, faith, joy, and contentment. A wealthy aura is born from a wealthy mind, the kind of mind that refuses to live in fear no matter what the world looks like. The kind of mind that says, "I might not have everything yet, but I'm thinking like someone who already does." That's the kind of mindset that attracts miracles. And don't forget, the atmosphere you keep around you feeds your mindset too. You can't train your thoughts for abundance while surrounding yourself with people who speak lack. You can't grow into greatness while entertaining conversations rooted in gossip and fear. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect your environment, because your mind is a garden. Whatever you let in will grow. If you plant faith, you'll harvest favor. If you plant doubt, you'll harvest delay. So train your mind to stay in alignment. Start your mornings with gratitude, not complaints. Speak life over your finances, your purpose, your relationships. Visualize the version of yourself that already lives in overflow and act like her now. She's not in the future, she's waiting for you to think like her today. When you start training your thoughts, you stop living by reaction and start living by revelation. You realize that abundance isn't a reward for being perfect. It's the natural result of alignment. You stop striving and start flowing. You stop worrying about timing and start trusting divine order. Because when your mind stays steady in faith, your aura becomes an open invitation for blessings to find you. So, no more shrinking, no more self-sabotage, no more second guessing the power within you. Train your mind until your thoughts become a magnet for miracles. Because when your mind learns to think abundance, your aura can't help but radiate it. And when your aura radiates abundance, everything connected to you starts to prosper. There comes a point in your journey where you realize that peace is not just something you stumble upon, it's something you protect. The same way you guard your finances, your time, and your dreams, you've got to learn to guard your aura. Because your aura, your energy, your atmosphere is spiritual currency. It determines how much peace you can hold, how much clarity you can keep, and how much blessing you can sustain. And sometimes the reason we feel drained, the reason our faith feels heavy, is because we've been spending our spiritual energy on people and places that don't pour back into us. You ever walk away from a conversation and feel exhausted? You didn't run a marathon, but somehow your spirit feels tired. That's because energy is real, exchange is real, and if you don't protect your aura, you'll find yourself leaking peace in spaces that were never assigned to your purpose. Guarding your aura doesn't mean becoming hard or distant. It means becoming wise. It means understanding that everything that has access to you has influence over you, and not everyone deserves to have that kind of access. We live in a world where everyone's trying to get our attention. Notifications, opinions, expectations, it's constant noise. And if you don't learn how to manage your energy, the world will drain you before the day even begins. You can't carry divine purpose and worldly chaos in the same heart. You can't hear God clearly while keeping company with confusion. So there comes a moment where you have to choose your atmosphere. You have to decide what gets to live in your energy and what doesn't. Some of you have been praying for peace, but peace can't exist where you keep entertaining conflict. You're asking for abundance, but you're still keeping company with scarcity. You're craving clarity, but your environment keeps breeding confusion. Guarding your aura means cleaning your circle, cleaning your habits, and cleaning your space. It means asking yourself, does this conversation feed my faith or drain it? Does this person challenge me to grow or keep me stuck in who I used to be? Because everything connected to you either multiplies your energy or diminishes it. The truth is, not everyone can go with you. When you start elevating your frequency, certain connections will naturally fall away. And it hurts, I know it does. But sometimes separation is protection. God will start removing people, habits, and distractions not because He wants you isolated, but because He wants your aura pure enough to carry what's next. He knows that unguarded energy leaks blessings, so He'll start showing you who was only attached to your pain, not your purpose. And when that happens, don't chase, don't force, let it go with peace. Guarding your aura also means guarding your thoughts. Because the energy you protect externally won't matter if the energy inside your mind is chaos. You can't keep letting worry set up camp in your thoughts and expect your aura to radiate peace. You can't keep feeding your fears and expect your energy to stay abundant. The discipline of peace is choosing what to meditate on. When negativity tries to visit, you have the right to say, "You don't live here anymore." There's a power that comes when you stop trying to explain your peace to people who thrive on drama. When you stop apologizing for your boundaries. When you stop dimming your light because it's too bright for people who refuse to heal. Guarding your aura doesn't make you selfish. It makes you a good steward. You are the temple where purpose resides. You are the vessel carrying divine assignments. If you let everyone touch your peace, eventually there will be nothing left to give. Think about how Jesus would often step away from the crowd to pray, to rest, to recharge. Not because He didn't love people, but because He understood that constant pouring without protection leads to depletion. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. You cannot glow from a drained spirit. Protecting your aura means scheduling silence. It means giving yourself permission to rest. It means saying no when yes would cost your peace. Sometimes the hardest person to guard your aura from is you. The version of you that still feels obligated to prove, to please, to perform. The version of you that feels guilty for resting or feels responsible for everyone else's emotions. You've got to remind yourself protecting your aura is not rejection, it's reflection. It's you honoring who you're becoming. It's you acknowledging that peace is not a privilege, it's a priority. When you start living with that kind of spiritual discipline, you stop reacting to everything. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop chasing closure from conversations that don't deserve your energy. You start moving with quiet confidence, knowing that not everything deserves your response. The moment you stop defending your peace, you start living in power. You also have to protect your aura from comparison. Nothing will drain your energy faster than looking at what someone else has and questioning your own journey. Comparison is the thief of gratitude, and gratitude is what keeps your aura radiant. When you're grateful, your energy glows differently. When you're content, your presence becomes peaceful. When you're focused on your lane, your light attracts opportunities without competition. Because the truth is, your aura doesn't need to compete. It just needs to be consistent. Guarding your aura also means learning to recognize energetic invitations that don't align with your assignment. Not every opportunity is a calling. Not every open door is divine. Some doors are distractions dressed as destiny. And when your aura is unguarded, you'll start saying yes to things that drain your purpose just because they look good. But when your energy is protected, you can discern the difference between what's for you and what's simply nearby. Your peace is the soil where your prosperity grows. Every time you let stress, fear, or toxicity take root in your energy, you're weakening your foundation. But when you cultivate peace, when you make it your daily intention, your aura becomes magnetic. People feel safe around you. Ideas flow to you. Blessings locate you, because peace is the highest frequency of abundance, and you can't fake it. You can't pretend to have peace while living in chaos. You have to live it. You have to choose it every single day. It's in how you respond to conflict, how you handle waiting, how you treat yourself when no one's watching. Guarding your aura means being intentional about your inner world. It's deciding, no matter what happens today, I will not let anything steal my peace. When you finally learn how to protect your peace, you stop chasing validation and start carrying authority. Your aura becomes steady. You start attracting experiences that reflect your healing, not your history. And that's when you realize that true wealth was never about what you could earn. It was about what you could hold. Because when your aura is guarded, your spirit stays open. You move through life with grace, confidence, and calm. You don't just have abundance, you embody it. And when your aura is whole, heaven can trust you with more.